Hey everyone, it's your boy Matt. It's 19 July 2025. This is a combination of updates with Taco and also updates with personal political issues. So, updates with Taco. I currently have my bank account frozen and my phone is currently disabled. I don't know if it's because of a hardware issue or if it's because of there's an issue with it being hacked. I think it may have been hacked, seeing as the account's frozen at the same time. It's a it's a difficult situation to be in. I think this is a follow up to me just really uh, owning those signals fuckers. And I think it's also I'm hoping that it's something which is being done by the AFP because I trust them a whole lot more than I do some of the other institutions. Still, still keep my distance a little bit. It's always a bit freaky being around police, but I would prefer it if my phone's being fucked with by them, or even better, I prefer the our I prefer the human in guys. They're a little bit they're a little bit cluey. So there's this thing with police officers, right? If you're a beat police officer, everything you see on the every day is going to be shit, and over time they become callous fuckers. Uh, Now those guys that you have like a thing in with that culture. So you both have to select for people who are like that in state policing departments, and you also have a thing where the culture of having these gritted up people going up the chain of command, often having trauma, and often being, slightly authoritarian people. We need them somewhere. Um, like you end up with this hierarchy of people who are not as sensitive and able to deal with very intricate situations a lot of the time, right? So in the ideal world, I'm having this done by federal law enforcement because that cohort of people, they're a lot less traumatized and gritty, and they tend to be people who are more analytical, and they tend to be people who um, are more sort of relational. The the way it goes with policing is that the most routinely fucked up, the most routinely gritted up people are the state law enforcement people, and the most kind of mostly okay, like you would you can predictably more likely to predictably get a person who is more big picture thinking is probably at that ASIO level. So the more federal with policing, the more federal, that's where you want to be. You want to be dealing with the most federal body of policing possible because they're also the least traumatized people, and they're the people who think in bigger pictures. A common response to trauma is that people tend to end up getting these narrow views of the world. Um, that can be quite dangerous. So, one, got some education on policing there. I gave you the update regarding that. Um, I my situation is horrifying because every time I speak to someone, I'm giving a testimony. I'm giving testimony to crimes. When I speak to my doctor, I'm speaking like I have to, like I have to presume everything I say is going to be used in a court for a variety of reasons, and this makes it daunting just to go through the process of getting something like an antidepressant, which I need to function and I haven't been able to get to function. And at the same time, I've had to deal with these signals fuckers and people in Michael's world. And I try to avoid talking about Michael unless it's something nice, okay? And because let's remember, we're all people here, and we're working towards peace at the moment, but let's not forget something. This guy completely failed in his leadership at Sublimate, not Sublimate, Rogue. Like Maybe it will be something different in the future. I see Michael as a person who's oriented in a positive direction. He wants good things for the world, but he's a man from his time. And he, like, I made a video a while ago about, being courteous if possible, if someone is misgendered, if it's from an older person. And it's the same with older people. Like, they come from a different period of time. And while Michael is not an old fart by any stretch of the imagination, this is a man who grew up in a fucking cult, was in the fucking military, which is very hierarchical, very patriarchal, incredibly patriarchal, right? He is not going to be seeing the world the same way a large amount of people are. And that's a product of his time and those things. He fucking tried to dominate me. There were his people in his community who he could have taken charge of were dominating, right? Or trying to. I've had cyber attacks. I have files deleted off servers. I have all kinds of weird shit. I know that my videos get edited. I have so specific words, the small words, they'll get adjusted to change the message. And often it's in quite a key way. So I've been subject to that. And I've tried to acknowledge him where I can, if it's credit for artistic things, because it's not like I don't want good things to happen for him. But let's not forget what he's done. Okay, there's an awareness. There's never going to be a moment when Michael and I are hugging or shaking hands. I don't want much to do with the bloke ever. What has happened to me is it's psychologically the equivalent of being repeatedly raped, like held down for multiple days and being repeatedly raped. Right. So I've had to become this insanely competent person to be able to deal with his shit. Right. And at the same time, I've had to become a fucking savage. Right. So if you've ever received some fucking savagery from me, this is where it's coming from. These are skills I've had to learn to deal with this fucker. And rarely it does come out where it shouldn't. I am very traumatized, but I've had to deal with so much fucking terror and horrific individuals. And I've had to tell a lot of people in my life, in my family, who've caused me immense suffering and will continue causing me suffering, to go fuck themselves and to just not have contact me ever. Right? This is what you have to do when you realize, hey, I need to start making steps in the correct direction, is that you figure out this shit and you cut all this shit which is killing you. Now that's what I'm trying. So there's that. What does that mean for Taco? It means that it's difficult for me to make videos and I have to use this archaic piece of shit laptop. It means that there could be a whole lot of other issues in the future because I don't have a phone. I'm having to deal with housing insecurities. I can't see the money in my bank account. My bank account's currently frozen, which is fun. And yeah, there's if there's not taco shows and stuff, that's why. It's because I'm being fucking raped. That's it. Have a lovely evening, everyone.